All right. Cool. I think this is 11.
11.
That's so many. That's like...
Wow.
It's like 12 too many. Anyway. What's up? What's up, gamers? We're back. After a reasonable amount of time as well.
What's up, Woso Nation? 5 big booms. We are the Costco guys.
God. Jinxed it now. Anyway, what's on the agenda?
So we made the last episode like 2 days before the transfer window closed, and of course, because Arsenal, they did everything incredibly last minute and announced everything in like the last couple of days. So we did actually sign people after we went on a whole like, we're not signing anyone.
Sorry, can I check this is recording?
Yes.
I don't actually remember if it is.
Wow. Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah, we did sign some people, it's inconvenient for me because then I edit the TikToks, but then and put them in the draft.
I mean, what we said is still true. Like, we need a lot more than what we've done. We seem to sit on our ass for like a whole month. And then we're like, oh shit, we got to sign some people. So we got Jenna Niswonger from the US. Very good. And Chloe Kelly on loan.
Yes.
From Man City. Because that girl was trying to get out of there. She tried to go quick and said no to Brighton.
Right. I mean, the Brighton thing, it was like, that would have been permanent, right?
No, it was just like...
Oh, no, because she's still there to the end of the year.
Yeah, whatever because she was just clearly desperate just to get out of City.
Yeah.
And because of the contract, she could only go on loan. So, but she's not going back to City.
No.
She needs to go somewhere else, and then when the contract runs out in the summer, Gareth won't want to renew her and she won't want to renew because they fucking hate each other. But I don't... The amount of people, like City fans, that were hating on Chloe was very odd.
Yes,
it's like
are really weird.
Like when Arsenal, hate to bring her up, when Arsenal lost Miedema, the fans' reaction was not like, we fucking hate Miedema, she's a traitor. Well, now it is, but it was a like, it was all like, Jonas is shit, we hate Jonas, why would he drive her out, yada yada yada, why we not renewed, yada yada, this, that, the other. If you have a player that's like, Chloe Kelly has been like an integral part of City's side for years now, and she's been a great player for them, and I assumed she was like a fan favourite, similar to Miedema in that sense. Why would you then be like, well, she's a bitch for leaving because like our coach is a wanker? Like,
I don't know, maybe they like their coach. It's not like he's winning. It's not like he's winning silverware for them. You know,
yeah, no,
if I
I
was
feel
a City fan, I'd be a bit more critical.
Yeah, I think...
I mean, second's better than third. You know what's better than second?
What's better than first?
Winning.
Yeah.
Winning
Not fucking choking at the end, because City were literally going to win the WSL last year right up until that last game.
Cool, yeah, I remember. It would have... I mean, I hate them both, but it would have been some variety.
Yeah.
And now it's like... no, there's going to be no variation in the next 5 to 8 years.
But yeah, I don't know why us City fans just fucking love institutions, so they're not going to beat down on management. It seems to be the case. Why are you still wearing sunglasses? Just noticed.
Maybe they love fossil fuels.
Yeah, they love the institution, because I feel like I've seen more Gareth Taylor criticism recently, but it was never as much as like other ones, like say Jonas or Mark Skinner, or I feel like he can be grouped as those of like people who deserve the criticism, but he wasn't getting it as much, because apparently this whole thing of him not liking a player and just like icing them out is not a new phenomenon. Like, he does this.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. Something he does to drive people out of City. Like, if you piss him off, he just stops playing you. And so Yeah, I don't know. It's
like a Boost Juice manager.
he's
vibe
like a
he
petty
gives.
teenager.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was weird that City fans were hating on her. I did think it was kind of the weird sort of transfers from City and Barca, because Barca let Kira Walsh go to Chelsea, which was fucking shit as well. But there's something fucking dumb going on at Barca at the moment, because why would you, in a January transfer window, let go one of your best players to one of your direct Champions League rivals?
It's weird, isn't it?
Like, oh, here's one of our like really good midfielders. Why don't we just sell her to one of our direct rivals for the title that we want?
I don't follow Liga F closely enough to understand rationale there. Or was there like no rationale?
No rationale. It's so Arsenal put in the bid for her at the beginning of the season for 200k more than what Chelsea paid for her.
That's weird.
So, but this new Barca coach is, from what I've heard, he's fucking shit, because they've started losing to teams fighting relegation.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if they lost the last game. That was the other day. I didn't actually see the score, but everyone was like having a good whinge about it on the timeline.
Yeah.
And said they were struggling. So
maybe the Liga F will become more equitable and we'll see other ways. So I'm trying not to gloat because like I don't like Barca, but I know Barca fans.
But their new coach, every picture, he looks like he's wearing a really bad wig. His hair is so scary. That's my only thought on it. Because, I don't really follow, but sort of what I've heard is it was just weird. Like, why would you sell a good player to a rival? It's really weird. And maybe that's why like City fans were upset that she got loaned to Arsenal, but she can't play against City. So I don't know why they need to feel threatened. It would have been great if we had it for the last few games, but, we'll have it for a North London derby, and that's all right.
That's this weekend? Yeah.
Yes.
Sunday.
Yeah.
That's...
And then everyone will get shipped off for the She Believes Cup and get fucking skeleton. Anyway, let's talk about Man City and Arsenal saga. We had to sit through 2 lots of horror ball.
It's such a pain when they're so close together. And then they just merge together.
What's really funny, have you seen with the Champions League draw, because City and Chelsea drew each other in the quarterfinals, that they have to play each other, Chelsea and City have to play each other 5 times within the span of 13 days. Because the Subway Cup is City and Chelsea. And then they've got WSL and Champions League all sort of at the same time. But 2 lots of horrible. Won the WSL by the skin of our fucking teeth. Come on.
I did watch it.
4-3.
4-3. Yeah.
Got the 2 goals really early.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just like, and then they started coming back, and Mary Fowler is the fucking goat.
Yeah, but only for City.
It's just
she doesn't get played like that for Australia.
City has like cracked the code on how to play Mary Fowler, and Matildas haven't been able to unlock that in the same way, which is really annoying, because you can see how good she is, and you're like, why aren't we getting that? Like, why aren't we getting fucking Mary Fowler braces and hatties every time she plays for Tilly? It's entirely possible. So it's actually annoying, but think, and then we lost the second one, which was Subway Cup, so no 3-time cup champions. Fine. Who wants fucking sandwich cup?
Yeah.
We want the cunty cup.
It's like Subway is like junk food, and it's also phallic. So it's like kind of embarrassing to have a Subway cup.
Would you rather get free Subway or free tires if they win?
Tires are expensive.
I doubt you get free tires.
And also, like, I don't know, Subway doesn't do anything. It's just bad food. You know, tires are important. You know, they, you know, in a country like Australia where we don't have trains, which don't have tires.
Well, it's not Australia, is it?
All our phrase.
It's not Australia, is it? What's your point?
I don't.
It's England.
England has trucks as well.
Yes.
Oh man, I need the fucking Ritalin, dude. I'm rationing it.
But I don't know. It was just like, I know we had players injured, but recently seems to be a theme the last few games where we keep
these on the ground.
What on the ground?
That seems a little.
They keep falling down. Can you not interrupt me?
I didn't interrupt.
You did. I was keep talking. You were like, "Why are they on the ground?" They always fall out because they're too top heavy. There seems to be an issue with the last few games this year where I know like people have been injured or rested or whatever, but continually playing players out of position and thinking that that's just going to like go fine. Like Steph has been a centre back all season. We're playing her at left back and it didn't work as well. Also, in that City Arsenal WSL game, they got a penalty that they did not deserve. There was the one where like Steph tugged someone down and then they fell, but the actual foul was committed outside the box. Yeah. She just fell into the box.
Yeah, no, it
should have been maybe like a free kick, sure, but not a penalty.
Yeah, if the rule, correct me if I'm wrong, the rule is like the penalty starts.
You have
they're both clearly outside.
Yeah, if they were both in the box and she did that, clear penalty. But
and they fell into it.
They were outside the box and then she fell into it. Like they were running into the box and that's what happened. But they weren't in the box yet.
Yeah.
So it was just like,
I don't know why she did that. Like it was a foul.
Yeah, but
she could have just not done that. But
you know, but yeah, playing players out of position just. Like, Stina as a starting striker doesn't work.
What?
Got something to say?
No, you do. Do the 2-minute hate. Get over
doing
it.
the 2-minute hate. I'm just saying that everyone...
You can. You have my permission. I won't make snide remarks.
Everyone has already said what needs to be said. She works better coming off the bench if we're going to put her on. She can't play a full game as striker. Because she spends half her time fucking around going offside. Stina offside, water is wet, fork found in kitchen. And she fucks up these wide open opportunities. Like, yeah, oh my God, Stina, she's so good at the clutch goal. That's because she's had 15 other chances that game where she's missed a wide open goal and fucking kicked it into my backyard. Like, doesn't work as a starting striker. And then... Alessia on the wing doesn't work either. Like, we've made this joke before with Jonas, but Renee needs to like try out her lineups on FIFA because then it gets pissy when you start playing people out of position. And then, like, we'll talk about the London City game last night, but Jenna Niswonger, it's her debut. Poor girl, she's a left back, and poor girl's played in midfield, and she looks so lost. And then instead of moving her to position, she just got subbed off at halftime for a midfielder. Yeah. I'm like, how is that fair? Like, you're not even giving her a chance to do well. You're like, let's put her in a position that she can't, like, she's not as good at, and like, fucking let's prey on her downfall. And it's like. You know,
again, Do you think a lot of it just comes down to like squad size, just having a smaller squad?
I mean, like
people to go around
with forward missing from both the City games, it was like we got to put someone on the wing, and then Alessia gets moved to the wing, which doesn't work, and then we need a striker, so Stina can go there. Like, it's literally just the case of what we were saying before. Like, if someone is missing, we don't have anyone to replace them, or if someone needs to be rested or subbed off, there's certain positions on the field where we don't have anyone to go in there that would actually, like, you know, fit. It's to replace them, we have to play someone out of position, which then, you know, makes it so they'll be playing worse because they're not playing where they're meant to be, you know. So the depth of the Arsenal side is obviously just an ongoing problem, and I don't know, that summer transfer window, they better be getting their fucking pen out and signing some people. We've got the money. But it's just like, and also what was frustrating is, like, we won the WSL game against Man City, sure, barely won, skin of our teeth, last minute, clutch goal, whatever. But I don't know why we were like, so we're playing City again. We have, you know, very recent experience in playing them. Let's try and play the almost exact same lineup and expect different results. And I mean, like, City is also struggling with depth in different ways, which is why the WSL game we were able to score quite a lot. Like, it was high scoring because what Gareth is doing is he's stacking forwards and then he doesn't have any defenders.
Mm-hmm.
So when people are injured, they don't really have many defenders, but they've got shitloads of forwards. So, but they seem to adapt to that the second time we played them, and then we didn't. But I mean, it was 1-1 right up until the end, and then our fucking defenders just stood around while Mary shot. Like, I don't like. Daphne was the player of the match that game. No one else fucking deserved it, and she played excellent. And in that last goal, there's nothing she could have done. No. That was entirely on the defenders. Yeah. That they were all kind of just, that you see Mary Fowler running into the box with the ball and you all stand like 10 meters away and just watch her. Oh, I wonder what she's going to do. Like, that, yeah, there's nothing that, like, she didn't move for it, and, you know, she froze or whatever. There's nothing she could have done.
Mm.
That ball was going too fast. Even if she threw her body onto the ground for it, there was no way she could have saved it.
She'd already been doing.
Yeah, no, save the penalty.
Yeah.
Hello, like, she had a great game, so you can't fault her for that. That was entirely the defenders just sort of letting Mary just have that. It's fine. Who gives a fuck about Subway?
Not worth it. Got bigger issues.
Some delusional people think we're going to win the Champions League instead. I didn't write this down because I forgot, but we drew Real Madrid. Thank fucking God. Yeah. It's like one of the only teams we have a chance of beating.
Easy. I say easy, you know, touch wood. It would be very embarrassing to lose to
Real Madrid. And then probably have to play Lyon in the semis, so.
At least, you know, we might get as far as the semis.
Exactly.
And then when we lose, then we can just root for Ellie Carpenter in the finals.
Exactly. But if Bayern, by miracle, make it to the semis, we could beat them again and then play Barca in the final and lose.
You never know. Maybe Barca falls off.
All of our, like, the delusions about Arsenal winning the Champions League rely on a lot of ifs. If Bayern beat Lyon, and if Barcelona are shit, and if
we're doing the Lando Norris.
if you know, it relies heavily on a lot of if statements that could very easily go the other way. So
I guess let's just get Real Madrid out of the way first, and then we could speculate.
Then we can play Lyon and
Yeah.
Because both like Leon and Barca lost their coaches that have brought them so much success. So they've obviously dipped a bit, but both are still fucking...
We lost a coach who brought no success apart from the last Conti Cup.
Yeah.
I put that mostly on Manu. Like...
Yeah,
like whatever Arsenal won, it felt like it was despite own Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not. I feel like the players wanted that, and that's what made it work.
What was that little notification? That laptop's not dying, is it?
No, it's fucking charging.
Okay, good.
But yeah, and then yes, I don't know where I was going with that. So yeah, Arsenal may win the Champions League. But people being like, we don't need to worry about the Subway Cup because we're winning the Champions League. That's where our silverware's coming.
It's a good attitude to have. We could, and the FA Cup's
bit of delusion, yeah. FA Cup.
I've not looked at the bracket after last night, after the Lioness, London City won. So I don't know who we have next. I don't know if you know that off the top of your head.
No. City beat Leicester. That's all I know.
Right. Leicester.
No, I haven't. But FA Cup did a wild card, so you never know.
Right.
But the game last night. Why did we look like we were struggling? We're playing London City.
Yeah. They had a decent defense.
Yeah, but it just once again it was the players out of position.
Bestie scored. So she can score against teams in
Championship. Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
So you to her. And McCabe back.
McCabe back. Ford back.
Didn't do that much, but she's back.
McCabe and Ford back was helpful. I mean, McCabe captained.
Yeah.
I don't know, just none of them looked like they were... It all seemed like a bit of a struggle when it probably shouldn't have been.
Maybe they were just taking it easy because they
maybe
knew it wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But...
Maybe... You know, every time, we should watch a championship ball. And then never do. It's so hard to watch.
It is hard to watch, yeah.
I just don't know if they're still, like, second... Because they were, like, up there? London City? Oh, I have no idea. I thought they were, like, top 3. No, who am I thinking of? Where did Van Egmond go?
Birmingham.
Birmingham was... They were high up.
Yeah, they're in front at the moment. London City are second.
All right. Okay. Where's Birmingham?
First.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I got those two confused because they were both like in the promotion battle.
They're both blue.
Van Egmond, WSL next year,
and then getting relegated
immediately after.
It's fine.
Why don't they make the WSL bigger?
Here's the question of the day. It's probably entirely money and funding.
And then have 2 relegated.
I think, well, some people say keep it as the same amount, but still have 2 relegated, 2 up, 2 down. I've heard that being said. I think it's entirely funding and development of lower sides because, I mean, as it is at the moment, like the Premier League is bigger, but it's still the same 3 that get promoted, get relegated every year. So
it so is.
You'd be
always like that.
Even if you expand it and have more people up and down, it would probably still fall into the same pattern of whoever gets promoted then gets relegated next year. So, and I was thinking last night, when a team gets relegated, they've probably taken a fucking pay cut as well, all the players, because...
Probably so much less money.
Yeah, because I'm sure it would be like a rule that, because the WSL is a professional league, that they would all have to be paid a certain sort of living wage, whereas a championship, I think, is only like semi-pro.
I don't know if it's pro or semi-pro. I know championship teams have to provide healthcare.
Okay, well that's
so they might be pro.
Bare minimum.
But that's the difference between having your ACL done the week after, or 8 months after, on the NHS.
Exactly.
So that might. So it's at least semi-pro. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you any of the other leagues.
I would just assume that he'd take a massive pay cut if he got relegated, which would suck. But then again, those lower teams probably don't receive that much more funding when they get in the WSL. Maybe a bit more, but
I don't know actually.
Because the thing is, like, you look at when you're watching it, and you're like, if you're watching, say, like a Bristol or a Crystal Palace WSL game, there's still not that many people there.
It's crazy how you can have 60,000 and like a couple of thousand in the same league. Like that's so much more of a difference compared to the Premier League. Even like a relegation battle in the Premier League between two bum-fuck
They'll
towns.
get a proper stadium, and there'll be diehards out there, and
because even like the oh god, what's the men's one? Is it the below the Premier League? Is that just the Championship as well? No, it's the National League.
I don't know.
It's National Leagues 3 and 4.
Okay.
It is champion.
Okay.
It's the Championship.
Yeah.
The women's one is just the Women's Championship.
Yeah.
Oh no. There are like men's teams that are like 4 or 5 leagues lower.
Yeah.
That would have a better turnout than some WSL games.
It just, we've got a long way to go still. The growth of women's football is great, but there's still a long way to go. And it's like when you watch Crystal Palace or at home or whatever, and it's against Arsenal, or most of the fans there are Arsenal. Arsenal fans will just travel fucking anywhere because they're so loud at every away match.
Yeah, they were. Where was you? Lion City? Where was that?
That was at home.
Because I couldn't count because it was kind of small. But
also Arsenal fans can travel to London City because
it's pretty central.
It's London, but
London's pretty central. It's got trains that go out in every direction.
They'll go to Manchester, and they'll go to where are other teams? Why have I just blanked? Brighton. They'll go to. I've suddenly blanked on where every other team is.
Well, yeah, like Brighton, Manchester, they're not super duper far.
Brighton, Manchester.
Liverpool's getting a bit far.
They'll go to Liverpool. I think less go to Liverpool, but they will. Yeah, Arsenal fans just seem to like to travel, and they've got this core loud. Like everyone says that like Arsenal women's has like the most fans and most vocal fans, and that's why they can sell out Emirates 60,000. Like Man City, they do play some of their games in the big men's stadium, but they're not selling it out like Arsenal do the Emirates.
Yes, I watched one at the Etihad. What was that? Was that the WSL one?
But yeah,
against Arsenal.
Yeah,
it was pretty dead.
Yeah,
like not dead. It was like decent.
But also, the women's home ground is an actual sort of smaller stadium. Like they've been given, like it's sort of across the road from Etihad, and it's like a smaller stadium. Like it looks like a proper stadium, whereas Meadow Park still looks like a couple grandstands and a field, and that's our other ground. But yeah, I don't know. That's why Arsenal was the top profiting women's football club in England, because they've got the fans, and that's so much of it. Ticket sales and getting people to show up is so much of the profit, especially if they're not. Like when you see like sexists online arguing that women shouldn't get like equal pay in sports or whatever, because they go like, well, if the attendance was equal, then they could get paid equally, you know, as like an argument. But it is so much where of that profit will come from is people just showing up, you know. But
yeah, I think like a lot of women's leagues are sort of like they are being propped up with money from the men's game, especially the A-League. Like if you think of some of the flights they have to do to fly a whole team from Perth.
Yeah, at least with like ones in England, you can just shove them all on a coach and
much cheaper.
Call it a day, you know. Whereas
away game by plane, just so much effort.
You know,
it's awful.
Or you make like Canberra players sit on a bus for 5.5 hours to Newcastle.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of flying around and you know, at least getting free travel if they're not. Well, they're gonna be like, well, we have to pay for your flights, so we can't pay you a living wage.
Yeah.
It's like another barrier to entry, you know.
They just have to become like statisticians.
Matilda McNamara, shout out. Hey, Queen.
Just congrats.
She's talking at Uni of Adelaide Women in Sport brunch.
Was that Adelaide? I didn't realise that was where it was. Like I saw the.
It's like Adelaide Uni Sport. Maybe I'll just show up.
Yeah.
I used to go to Adelaide. Tickets are open to the general public.
I feel like you have to graduate to be classed as alumni.
I never said I was alumni. I've still got an ID card.
I guess.
Is tickets are open to the public. What are they going to do? Say no? Get an exclusive interview.
Why don't you use a little microphone to interview the Adelaide United players? If you want to take the podcast seriously.
Because we always just leave it. We don't even stay to like be like, can I have your shirt, please?
Why don't you?
Why don't you?
Why don't you is what I'm saying.
Why don't you? Why?
It's women's football. It's not men's football.
Men.
Well, they want to talk about that.
There's plenty of male journalists work.
Yeah, journalists.
Yeah, but they're doing interviews.
Yeah, they're journalists, though.
Don't talk to anyone. They're not going to be like, oh, a man can fucking kick you in the teeth. They're happy that you're there.
No, they wouldn't kick me in the teeth. My head would be too high. You know what?
I'm sure they can. I'm sure they've got great flexibility. They like to do a high kick. If you not see them like do the stretch legs where they're swinging their leg back and forth, getting it up.
But I don't know. To do an actual head kick is like you have to have technique.
They're wearing cleats. Doesn't have to be technique. They got fucking. Have you ever been stepped on with fucking footy boots or cleats? It fucking hurts.
Right, but like
make you feel like your toes have been fucking ripped out.
Doing a head kick on someone who's like a head taller than you, that's pretty impressive, even if you are flexible. You know what throws me off?
What?
I have a really poor perception of height. So in my head, everyone is sort of the same height. So I feel like I've said this actually, but I'm always really surprised when there's like real life soccer players. That's how short they are, even if they're like average woman.
You don't have to be tall to play soccer.
Even if they're like average woman, I'm like, wow, this person's actually.
It's not one of those.
7.
It's not one of those games where you know, like AFL, you need a certain amount of tall people, and you know, height doesn't really matter in soccer.
Not really. It's just, it always like throws me off.
Yeah.
They're actually short in real life.
It's one of those sports where it actually doesn't matter how tall you are. Bit funny, they're going to have to start, you know.
Oh no.
reprinting them. That's a gooner. You'll never see a City kit again, so good luck to you all. I noticed that like the day after it was announced, I was like, oh, that's a bit funny.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Happens all the time. Players they publish it before the January transfer window and half of it becomes irrelevant. But anyway, that's enough on the WSL. We have international news.
What's the news?
We're going to the She Believes Cup. We've got a squad. That's what, next week? Yeah, next week.
Right.
So, off to the US for their little ego boosting tournament.
Yeah, so we can all use.
So, USA, Japan, and Colombia.
Pretty random.
It's always random, but that's the point of it.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of like doomerism online saying we're just gonna get thrashed straight away. I mean, we might, but we might not. That's my analysis. It's as deep as
we might, but we might not. It's just hard because we're still in this transitional period. Like, I really thought we would have had a coach by now. It's been a bit long, hasn't it? Like, I really, like, they knew that.
A coach.
No, but like a permanent coach.
We do.
We don't.
What do you mean?
Matildas don't have
Oh, Matildas. I thought we were talking about Arsenal.
We're talking about, I said international news.
I told you I have brain fog, dude. I have severe fucking brain fog.
I said international news, and we're talking about countries.
Yeah, I forgot.
Matildas don't have a coach.
You ever seen that movie Memento?
No.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, is Tom gonna hang around?
Well, he will for this tournament, but
Sorry, I'm like tripping.
Okay.
I'm genuinely tripping.
Okay.
Do you think would he want to be permanent? Should he?
I don't think they'll make him permanent. He has been permanent before. I don't think he wants to.
He was doing it for a while, wasn't he?
He's the longest serving Matilda's coach ever. So
I mean, if I was him, I'd want to fucking retire.
Yeah, yes, that's people. It's getting a bit old. Like, we love people, don't get me wrong, but it's sort of like they knew this tournament was coming. Like, before it was even announced, they would have known and agreed to it a while in advance. So
yeah,
I really thought they would have had a coach before an actual tournament. Whether it's, you can't really class this as like a major tournament, but maybe their fucking deadline is Asian Cup 2026.
Sure.
Well, they would. I'm assuming it would happen this year, but the earlier you can get them in, then the better will be set up for the Asian Cup. But
we used to go to Asian Cup, bro. Like, actually. So where is it? Brisbane, Sydney,
Perth. But Matildas will not be playing in Perth, I can assure you. It'll be like World Cup where Matildas only played in like Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney. That they didn't fucking come to Adelaide or Perth or New Zealand.
This is decent for a tournament of that size. Coopers would be a good venue.
Again,
I don't think
the Asian Cup has been hosted in Adelaide before.
Yeah, well, I think
at Coopers.
The World Cup at Coopers had a good turnout because it was like England and China. There's lots of English people and Chinese people here.
Yeah, and Colombia played here as well, and
they all sold out.
I don't know.
I don't know. They all sold.
They sold well. Yeah.
But it's whatever. I'm guessing Pete didn't want to pay, couldn't pay enough.
Probably helped.
Let's say Sydney. Yeah.
Well, let's not make plans.
Let's say Sydney. I don't want to go to Brisbane.
Expensive.
I've heard bad things about Sydney.
If you can afford Sydney, good luck to you.
Living.
Yeah, but it's the accommodation and flights are so expensive.
Hold your horses. Before you go off half-cocked, why don't we wait until we see who's playing first?
Exactly, yeah.
But I'm just saying, put money aside. Because I get really bad FOMO.
Yes, I know you
really
whinge all the time.
Yeah, I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
People are like, buy tickets. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck that you're saying Matildas and I'm not.
Let's be nicer. Those are all our friends and viewers. Don't be like, I fucking hate you.
I'm thinking, I'm not going to say what I was about to say. No.
You could try to be nicer, be happy for people.
Okay, it should have happened to me instead.
You can watch it on the telly.
Let's think. South Korea's not that good, are they? They're okay.
They're alright.
But they're not like Japan.
No.
Also, Newcastle. I ain't going to Newcastle. They should pay me to go to Newcastle. What was it, Newcastle and Sydney?
Is it Newcastle? Oh, yeah. It's going to be like the Melbourne Geelong games where the Geelong game's going to be dead as fuck. No one wants to go to Geelong.
I should have gone to Geelong. I should have just driven by myself. It's only 8 hours. I should have just gone by myself. I genuinely regret not going. Like alone. Just for like one day and then drive back. Like, I can drive
to watch
hours in a single sitting.
To then like thrash who it was, Taipei.
Yeah. Yeah, well. Doesn't matter now.
Thing is, like, you can be like, oh, I need to see the Matildas play. They're going to keep constantly coming back to Australia. It's not like, you know.
It's not like an artist where they might break up.
Yeah, or
retire.
Or like, you know, Arsenal may never come back to Australia ever again. You know, shit like that. Like, the Matildas will always play games at home, randomly around the country, no matter what. Like,
I'd just rather than be here. Pete, I know you watch our podcast. Please pay for the Matildas to come back.
Let's email him. Pete.
Was that how I was going with that?
We're talking about the coach. We don't have a coach.
Yes, we want one by Asia Cup.
I would prefer one a lot earlier because then again, the earlier, then that can set them up. You know, having a new coach right before a tournament is like a recipe for disaster. We need, if this coach is going to bring like new styles or new whatever, you want time to, you know, go over that in friendlies and set it up and all that. You know. Well, but the squad for the Asian Cup is not Asian Cup. Fuck, She Believes.
Yeah.
Whoever that is. It's pretty good. We actually have forwards for once, which is crazy. Normally, we've had a few international breaks where they've had no one. But it's pretty balanced. And quite a few A-League.
No Matilda McNamara, either. Very sad.
I know, but she didn't even get minutes last Matilda's call up, so she was just called up and sat on the bench, and then she wasn't supposed to be like, because they were expecting the A-League players who went to Matilda's camp weren't going to play in the A-League like the next day, and so she was excluded from the Adelaide United squad, and then they made like an amendment in the morning, and she played for Adelaide the next day. Because she didn't play, so she just probably flew home in the morning and was like, they were like, all right, let's put you in.
Yep. If you get called up, but you're still not capped, you're still a Matilda, right?
She has been capped before, so she's played for them a few years ago.
The grown-up team?
Yeah.
Right, because I knew she played for the youth team.
No, she has.
One of the youth.
She's played for the Matildas once, like actually played.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not really
I'm more I guess I'm more invested. I'd rather her be fit to win for Adelaide because we're more competitive this year. So I'm like, She Believes Cup is just sort of fun, but you don't need it, you know.
She'll get there one day. Yeah. Sure.
Like,
she's been in great form, so
better to get called up.
I have a feeling that this sort of April window, because that's getting towards like the tail end of, say, like WSL and stuff. I have a feeling it could be sort of similar in the sense of, I mean, they're not doing 4 games, but I reckon more A-League players will probably get called up to that friendly window, or like again they do like a big squad and maybe one's in England, play the game in Sydney, and then go back, and then the Newcastle game is more A-League players or whatever. That's just a prediction based on what we've sort of seen with these friendly windows, and so many of them playing so far away that their clubs aren't going to want to, especially when it's like sort of tail end of the season. not going to be wanting to ship them halfway across the world and for a friendly and then ship them back. So
and then like need more homegrown talent anyway.
Yeah, exactly. For She Believes, there's 6 A-League players called up, which is more than fucking what's his name was doing. Tony, yes. Tony now has a job.
Oh, and sweet.
Yes, he's going to be Sweden coach after the Euros.
After the Euros?
Yes. Their current coach said he's leaving after the Euros.
Right.
So, who knows what's going to happen to the Euros?
Spain wins.
I reckon it might be Germany.
Really?
They won the bronze medal.
That's true, yeah.
They did best out of all the European teams at the Olympics. So when you kind of go off what last sort of tournament was, but I mean, the level of women's football in Europe is quite high. So most of the countries, or pretty much all the countries that are going to be in the Euros. So I think it'll be interesting. Could go anywhere. I don't think England are going to win it again. Sorry, I know a lot of people fucking love the Lionesses, but they haven't been as good as they have been. And England also had the advantage of when they won the Euros, it was at home.
Yeah, that's true.
Which does help, because a lot of England sort of got behind them. Because it was the only time the English fucking football team was going to bring home any silverware. So the men aren't doing it. It's coming home. But yeah. She Believes, US's ego. I don't know how many times they've won it in a row now. Far too many. There's some players in the US women's national team who have won, been in a She Believes winning squad 7 or 8 times. It's you've won the most She Believes out of anyone. They have a few players that are you can say that too. So yeah,
I'm keen for
they're on
clips of call up old mate Bestie Corbin. And then there's going to be more clips of her teammates snubbing her and shit. I'm looking forward to that.
It's funny. I love it when people bring up that clip of Emily Fox. Just girl has to stand next to her in pictures and stuff all the time, because at the Olympics they were 2 and 3. So when they line up in number order,
I don't know actually. The USA is a very divided country.
Yes.
I think maybe since the election, it might have a knock-on effect on morale, and they fall off.
Maybe.
From
what everyone's sort of lukewarm response to being asked about Corbyn, Emma and the players that have been asked, what's your thoughts on this? They've all been very much when we get in the locker room, we put politics aside or whatever, and
yeah, because they have to keep the peace.
Yes.
They don't actually think that.
Yes, but I mean, it's sort of
you can say you can say we put politics aside because you're obliged to, but when you have to play with someone who wants to take your rights away,
but
I do wonder what they actually
they won an Olympic gold medal with her, so they must not dislike her that much. And Lindsay Horan, Republican past, so she has her token gay friends that she hangs around to make her not seem, like a bigot.
Because they're the only other people who speak English.
Ellie,
does she speak French? She must.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Ellie's pretty much fluent in French, so you just assume Lindsay would be as well,
but
because everyone would just speak French.
It's still Queensland accented French. So does Lindsay speak?
She's not from Queensland, from New South Wales.
They're the same in my head. Queensland and New South Wales are the same.
Country New South Wales.
Everything east,
very different places, but
I don't know. Okay. I just in my head, Queensland and New South Wales merged together. Like sometimes I get the premiers mixed up and forget they have different governments. Because like anything like northeast of Melbourne is just sort of vaguely eastern seaboard.
But no, I think the like thing that a lot of them probably do, because like thing is with the US, it doesn't, and the US women's national team is obviously they have a lot of queer players on their team, and they have throughout its success, but they would also have a lot of them who are not, because I think in a lot of places, women's sport and women's soccer isn't associated with queerness like it is in Australia. Like it can be, but we make that sort of assumption in Australia because women's sport in this country is so tied with like gay communities and queer communities, and like they obviously still exist, but there's, you know, way more straight players on the Lionesses than there are on the Matildas.
Yeah.
Because I guess because we're not necessarily like us football country, when, you know, and England just is, like, no matter your race, sexuality, whatever, you probably have some opinion on football in England, you know, no matter who you are. Whereas in Australia, that's not really a thing, and women's sport just has more of that tie to queerness than any other country, whereas like the US, you know, with college soccer and sport, like women's and girls sport just being sort of bigger.
Yeah. And it's also not safe to be openly queer in most of the world, including most of the United States at this point.
At this point, yeah. But not to like diminish the achievements of a lot of the queer people in the US, like the US women's national team, and previous squads have been a lot gayer, like when they're winning World Cups.
Right.
But the current one now, it's just, like, again, nothing against anyone, but it's just, Australians talking about it sort of have this assumption because of the inherent ties of queerness and women's soccer. We assume that they're all gay.
Project us to every female soccer player in the world.
Yeah, but I mean, it's America. There's going to be, if you look at a big group of Americans, you're going to have to assume that at least half of them are going to be Republican. So, like, statistically, or even before Trump, you got to assume that half of them are Republican or come from some Republican background, you know? So I think this sort of weird clash of having a squad that's Democrat and Republican is not new to the US women's national team.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be new. And they would, you know, have ways to sort of deal with it, whether it's don't ask, don't tell sort of thing, you know. So I don't think it will have much of an impact. Again, they went to the Olympics with Corbyn and Lindsay's their captain.
Yeah.
So what does Lindsay Horan know? How is she fucking US captain? Who does she know? It's with certain, you know, it's like Emily Van Egmond being Matilda's captain. Is it just because she's like been around the longest?
Yeah.
But I don't know, with players like Lindsay and Evie, sometimes you don't want them to get better because the head loss on the timeline is so funny. Like, seeing everyone collectively crash out when Lindsay Horan attempts a bicycle kick it's like, it's gold. Like, it's painful to watch them, but it's also hilarious when she, you know, constantly tries to insert Lindsay Horan bicycle kick here. They're so funny. But every time she plays and she's like captain of the US, everyone's just like, who does she know? How is she the captain?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it's like, same with how she's still playing for Leon. If because the thing is, with a lot of people, no one can watches the French league. Sorry. But most people's like understanding of Lindsay Horan comes from how she plays for the national team.
Yeah.
So a lot of people go, how is she playing for Leon? Like she either must be putting in fucking shifts for Leon.
Yeah.
Or she's just also knows someone there. But, got married in Colorado. Ellie Carpenter chose to go to Lindsay Horan's wedding over Emily Van Egmont's. Because all the Tillies are at EV in fucking rural New South Wales, I think it was.
Yeah. I don't remember.
But then, like, her wife is sort of like TikTok influencer. So I saw a clip of her being like, we were supposed to enjoy our honeymoon, but we had to pack everything up and move to Birmingham. I'm like, oh, that poor girl.
Man.
She's from, like, California. How the fuck is she going to cope in Birmingham? Dear. Anyway, A-League.
A-League.
We went on a tirade last episode about how Perth are going to
lose, and they did
get their revenge. So my only note there is Perth suck.
Yeah, they did. Good.
You went on your little rant about how we're going to get revenge on Perth, and we did. It was weird that yesterday FOP Mob was some reason listing us as second when we had like less goal difference than Melbourne Victory. We are on the same amount of points as Melbourne Victory.
Maybe it was a bug.
Yeah, but it's just based on goal difference.
Right. Yeah. That's
so.
Yeah.
But doing well. It's just that 9 games undefeated is the longest. It's the most amount of games Adelaide United has like gone undefeated, like has not been beaten in a season ever.
Crazy turnaround since last year.
I know.
No other league could have done that. No other team in no other league.
We've got so many great fucking ballers. Aaron Healy, Michelle McNamara, Fiona Wirtz is back. Yeah, it's the squad is so good.
Yeah.
Chelsea Dorber, they're all playing so well, and sort of run circles around Perth. The reffing was actually good at the match the other day, even if it was on at the shittest time ever.
Yeah.
It's the problem with, it's like cool that we get a double header and we get to go to the big stadium, whatever, but women have to play at the shitty time on like, 4:30 on a Friday when a lot of people are still working or too hard to leave school and drive through all the traffic and
so much traffic.
Yeah. And also with that, then
I'm not keen to go to another one at that time, dude. Like,
the one that
we'd have to like get there an hour beforehand and like hang around.
Do you realize the one coming up is on a Saturday?
Yeah.
So there'll be no traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know if I'm in town.
You don't have to worry about it.
I'll get back to you.
But and people did point out as well is that with that, then women will tend to have to play in like the hottest part of the day, which is annoying for a summer sport. Like 4:30 is the hottest part of the day, and the men get the cruisy 7 p.m. when the sun's half down and it's cooled off. Like,
and then at Cooper's, it goes behind the massive stand.
Like seeing clips of the lovely sunset in the men's game that was so like picturesque at Cooper's, because the sunsets do really look really nice at Cooper's, but we just get the fucking blaring sun and be like, I'm sweating so bad. Go Adelaide United. And when we keep buying tickets for the north stand, and then there's a secchi on the bridge that doesn't let us go in the stand that's in the shade, even though they don't really gaff where you sit at the women's game because there's not enough people there to like enforce reserved seating.
They used to.
As long as you have a ticket, you can get there, but the secchi's on the bridge, so like
they never used to. Like they used to only come out at the end.
Yeah, men's game, because people actually have if we say like stayed in the spots we were sitting for the men's game, someone would come up to be like, these are our seats. You have to, because they actually sell the reserve seating for those. Yeah. Double headers are a bit annoying because you get charged for 2, and then if you don't want to go to 2, then like you get charged men's prices.
Yeah, and
me and Izzy have talked about this before. I'll like let me pay half, and you can forcibly kick me out before the next game. Like I'll leave. Like I won't. I'm not gonna scam you. And
yeah,
like I'll pay half the price, and you can kick me out. Like I don't care.
That I feel like that would work because if you did like entry until like half time, you couldn't have people wouldn't buy a ticket for the women's game just to stay around for the men's game. And you do entry before a certain point because they're not going to want to hang around that long.
But if you buy a men's ticket, you get free entry to the women's because otherwise, because you get like after sort of half time at the women's, more people start coming in because they're clearly coming for the men's game and they're just getting there a bit early or whatever. So it is good to see like more people sort of just there generally. But I mean, if you only want to go to the women's game, why do I have to pay like $35?
I don't even like going to Cooper's. Like I prefer Martin.
Because it's close.
Yes.
But it's nice to see them play in like
I'm always driving.
It's nice to see them play in a big stadium. Good facilities there. Adelaide United store. Hello.
Yeah, but they never have the shirts in our size. I don't know whether when
they got stolen. Well, just because Mr. Charlie Grant has quit. Oh yeah, that's the drama. No one knows about it because all of Woso Stan Twitter are jobless and not on LinkedIn. You're wondering, no one else has broken that news.
It's not new.
It is. He's moved to England.
We're the only 2 people who care.
There's many people who care.
Who?
I've told people who care. Mansage.
Not editing that out. Easy.
Mansage. But yeah.
Go on then.
What?
You haven't actually said. Oh no, you did say.
Oh, Mr. Charlie Grant has left Adelaide United. He's moved to England.
Downgrade. You don't live in London. Shit. Nice to visit.
London.
I do wonder how much money she's getting because, like, it's an expensive place and she's probably not getting that much.
As a bench player at Tottenham, who are like a mid-table team.
Yeah.
I mean, they get to play in the big fancy Tottenham Hotspur Stadium sometimes. That stadium is massive. Like, they hold big arena concerts there. Like, Beyonce is playing there on her next tour and whatnot. Like, that's like one of the biggest London stadiums.
Yeah.
You know? So, it's pretty big. Tottenham seem to be, because, like, it's such a sort of well-established club in terms of money and funding, that the women seem to get funded really well and included in a lot of their, because I've seen a lot of shit of like Tottenham doing things in the community and Arsenal does the same of like that sort of one club mentality of we'll get players from both to do it because they would be similarly funded. That's the nicest thing I'm going to say about Tottenham. Good inclusivity. Just stop being less shit. Or keep being shit.
Yeah, suits me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I want Charlie to do well, but I'd rather her do well at like a better club.
Haley's getting minutes. That's all we can ask. Or Charlie's just
ugly kid though.
Charlie's so young though. I think people forget that she's still a young player. Like she 23, 22, 23?
23, yeah.
She's still really young, so she's got a lot of time to sort of develop, even if she's not starting for Matildas or Tottenham. She's got massive career ahead of her, I think. So
she'll never play for Adelaide United again.
Maybe when she's getting towards the end of her career and
to retire.
her and the man's moves back to Adelaide to retire and have kids or whatever.
Yeah, you want to start a family in London if they want to. Adelaide, much better. Oh, who am I kidding? No, it isn't.
Adelaide's. Everyone comes back to. Everyone
Not a
moves.
good place to raise a family. The roads are too fast.
Everyone comes back to Adelaide to raise a family because our schools are good.
Right. I'll take your word for it.
Everyone it's like a very common trend in Adelaide that everyone moves away to start working, but then want to settle down, start a family, and move back because it's way more affordable than Melbourne and Sydney to raise a family and send your kids to a school and a lot more good schools. And how it's like Adelaide expensive, yes, but a lot less expensive than Melbourne or Sydney.
I guess.
So it's sort of a place where you can settle down and get old.
Right. God's waiting room.
Yep. Exactly. Similar to Perth. A lot of old people in Adelaide and Perth. Anyway, Adelaide United's winning the league. We've been yapping for an hour and 5 minutes, so
let's wrap it up.
Yes.
To wrap up, Adelaide winning the finals, not the Premiership.
Yeah.
Arsenal's winning the Champions League.
Yep. Reliant on a lot of if statements.
FA Cup predictions. It's always a bit out there. Well, I don't know who's already out.
I believe.
Another Tottenham and
I think Tottenham might already
United rematch.
I think Tottenham might already be out.
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. Yeah, that's my theory.
Yep.
I know I haven't actually said anything, but yeah, see what happens.
North London derby. Let's hope for some shithousery.
Yeah.
Get Haley on. Fucking rock'em sock'em.
Yeah, I'm glad McCabe's back.
McCabe.
I know I'm always saying McCabe needs to play properly. He's always rolling around. However, I'm expecting
she loves a North London derby.
And I'm expecting it.
Everyone.
From both sides.
You know what? Everyone, you can be on your worst behaviour. Rise to the occasion.
They genuinely hate each other.
Yeah, it's a proper rivalry. It's nice to see them have the actual rivalry. It's like the fucking headlocks they all had when Kyra was wearing the Tottenham scarf. Trigger warning to anyone who has trauma from that incident. And Charlie Grant's the statement she put out, with there's more to life than football, it gets used as a reaction image all the time. It's so funny. But yeah, I think it'll be good. Chloe Kelly's that'll probably be her first game. And she loves a rivalry. Like the Manchester derby, she goes off.
Good introduction to it.
I think Chloe Kelly goal, badge tap. Arsenal badge taps.
Yeah.
Be fucking hilarious.
My leg is cramping.
All right, time to go. See you soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Woso Nation.
Yeah.